Hello and welcome to the WBAP 820 570 KLIF Weather Podcast for Monday, May 24th. From the Cumulus Media Center in DFW, I'm Chief Meteorologist Brad Barton. Thanks for joining us. Unlike last week with the big heat wave across North Texas, we have a lot more going on this week. We have a big storm system in the middle of the country, actually 1.5 storm systems, which we'll show you in a minute or two, and a little tropical weather that's jumping the gun by a few days, as June 1st is the official start of hurricane season in the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean, and the Atlantic. But tell that to some of the storms that got started here about 24 hours ago. But let's go ahead and start with this morning's satellite loop. We had some patchy, dense fog and drizzle across much of North Texas this morning, and now we can see that's turned pretty much just into one big overcast. There is some light rain moving into the hill country from southwest Texas, but that's a long way off at this point. Now let's check the national radar map. We're already seeing precip underway from Kansas and Nebraska and all the way down to southwest Texas. The rain over the mid-south there around Atlanta, you can see the curvature there, is a little tropical system, a tropical disturbance that moved ashore Sunday night. And there's a second little disturbance just south of New Orleans down in the Gulf of Mexico right now. So we're kind of watching both those things, but getting a little bit of a jump on the tropical weather season. And that rain around Atlanta is going to move right on up to the northeast through the major northeastern hubs and probably slow down some air travel during the day and during the day tomorrow as well. All right, here's a quick overview for the next 24 hours. Rain from Canada to Mexico, storms from Kansas into Texas, some snow back in the higher elevations of the Rockies, and then again some strong storms with tropical thunderstorms moving through the southeast part of the country. So this is like a 24-hour map. Now let me show you the storm system, actually storm systems, that we're watching today. We're using the North American model, predictive wind flow and vorticity at altitude. And the reason we use upper air models is that they're not contaminated or affected by surface features on the earth, mountain ranges, big lakes, big deserts, big forests, and so forth. So we start with a deepening trough in the upper airflow over the Rockies, and it turns into a closed upper level low pressure system. That oval closes all the way off. And there's a secondary storm system over northern Mexico that kind of grabs into that and moves across East Texas on up into Missouri, which will tend to slow down the main storm system just a little bit. So that's why we have like 1.5 storm systems in play. And with that second storm system that's been coming in from Mexico coming over the top, that brings in moisture from the Pacific as well as the moisture that we already have in place from the Gulf, and that could result in some pretty significant rains. Now, the first loop here runs from current time through Tuesday evening. Now, this second loop runs from current time through Wednesday evening because our rain will not come to an end until the axis of that storm system finally tracks east of I-35. That's how we could wind up with, 2 to 3 inches of rain out of this particular event. Moisture from the Pacific, moisture from the Gulf, slow-moving storm system. 2 to 3 inches seems like an average right now, but we could see some heavier rains and some localized flooding even in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as this event unfolds Tuesday and Wednesday. So as we go into our surface maps, here's the result of all that. This is our surface map for 5 o'clock this evening with rain out west, but approaching. It's knocking on the door 5 o'clock this evening, okay? By around midnight, our rain and thunderstorms should be well underway across most of Texas, not just North Texas. Most of Texas will be getting some pretty big rains. And some of those storms may be a little bit noisy tonight, but not likely severe. Not tonight. Now, tomorrow morning, moderate to heavy rain and thunderstorms will be underway, so be ready with rain gear and plan on lots of wrecks on the freeways tomorrow morning. We'll be covering that in a big way on WBAP and KLIF tomorrow morning. See a big warm front there coming up toward the Red River, and that's just filling up with all sorts of Gulf and some Pacific moisture as well. So we can when you're getting moisture from both oceans, then you're in for multi-inch rains. Now, some of those storms could be severe on Tuesday, and that's why the Storm Prediction Center does have a slight risk of severe weather posted over central and north-central Texas during the day tomorrow. We think we could see, it's not a high tornado risk, but flooding, lightning, maybe some hail, and major traffic problems are pretty much a given during the day tomorrow. But again, some of these storms could become severe with some 55 to 65 mile-per-hour winds, larger hail, and again, certainly isolated flooding. Now, 24 hours later, on Wednesday morning, we still have some rain underway, but a cold front is moving through, and that cold front will bring in much drier and cooler air with it. Just takes a few hours, but by Wednesday evening, the rain should have ended. Now, by Thursday morning, the rain's all over, and you can go out and check your rain gauge and enjoy a mild day. After that, we're going to be warming up and drying out for the Memorial Day weekend, which looks pretty good at this point. So here's our forecast. Mostly cloudy and humid for the rest of Monday with a high of 79. Winds out of the southeast 5 to 15. Rain and thunderstorms moving in probably around dark tonight with a low of 67. More rain and thunderstorms likely during the day tomorrow with a high of 79. Gusty southeast winds. Some of those storms tomorrow, Tuesday, could be severe. On Wednesday, cloudy, windy, and cooler with rain ending, but not until evening. High 73, a low in the 50s. Wednesday night, that's pretty nice. On Thursday, we're sunny and mild, starting to clear off with a high of 83, a low in the 60s. We'll be in the mid-60s on Friday and then warming back up into the 90s Saturday and Sunday just before Memorial Day. So thanks again for joining us for the WBAP 820 and 570 KLIF podcast for May 24th. Stay safe and stay dry if you can tomorrow, and we'll see you the next time. Bye.